Michigan Republican Senate candidate Mike Rogers. He's the former chair of the House Intel Committee. Always good to see you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome back.
It is great to see you. I think maybe Maine could use one of those big No Kings rallies, don't you think?
Yeah, good point. I should have added that. I like you. We see this dangerous rise of socialists like El-Sayed. We'll get to the debate in a minute. You may face him. But this move by Democrat bosses to select candidates instead of letting the people decide like they did with Biden, didn't they claim it's your party that's a threat to democracy?
Oh, absolutely. This is exactly the way they do it. They are all for open and transparent as long as they're open and they're transparent. This is so clear to me. And the party is being lost here by this move of the Democrat Socialists of America. Matter of fact, they have picked two states that they're going to surge resources and people. Michigan is one of them for El-Sayed. And they're also going in Wisconsin, I think, for the governor's cabinet there. I mean, this is a fundamental movement to continue the Democrat Party's march to the left. And it's dangerous. And, we saw that last night, even in the debate. I mean, they just continue to push down on that whole notion of open borders and free government, everything. And, I always say, listen, if you think healthcare is expensive now, wait till it's free. And the
yes.
You'll enjoy that very much.
No doubt about it. Pardon me. Let's talk about that debate now. Last night, El-Sayed refusing to release his tax returns. He was confronted about that. Let's listen and we'll give you a chance to react.
My opponent, Abdul, he said that transparency is key, but yet he hasn't released his tax returns. Abdul, you talk about getting money out of politics and putting money in people's pockets, but who is putting money in yours? What are you hiding?
I took the same extension that the Congresswoman took every single year she was in Congress.
I'm talking about your tax returns, Abdul. You haven't released your tax returns.
All right,
you don't need an extension to do
that. There's a process.
Who's putting money in your pocketbook?
I understand, sir, that you released your financial disclosures yesterday. What is El-Sayed hiding?
Well, he says he and his wife own property in foreign countries, and it's difficult to process all that. I think that speaks for itself. What we saw yesterday is in that exchange and others this is going to be an election about crazy versus common sense. We're offering this common sense agenda on fixing our education system, making sure housing it becomes affordable and people have the resources to put on a down payment. By the way, not using the government to do that by just allowing to keep more of their money. And so when this all unravels and you see just how extreme these folks have become, and Abdul is the clear leader. And by the way, the more crazy he gets, the more votes he gets on the Democrat Party. I've never seen it quite like it. But the good news is we took a look at our staff this morning and said, guess who won the debate? Us. Most people look at us and go, I'll take that all day long over what kind of craziness we saw at that debate last night.
You're living, breathing this every day. Our viewers are not. I want them to see the communism on full display. Here he is floating a plan to abolish ICE and then let the local police handle criminal illegal aliens. But listen to what he said about the same police officers in 2020.
Do police really need to use guns? Do we need as much of a police force? And so if we ask ourselves about how we spend money in the public, where that money goes, where it comes from, we need to make a lot better decisions about investing in the things that root out poverty rather than investing in policing.
So how do you say I'm going to abolish ICE and we'll deport maybe, I don't think he wants to do it, but he claims deport criminals with the police that you also want to defund?
ICE does deport criminals, and if not for that closing of the border that President Trump engaged to deporting hardened criminals, I mean, you've seen a murder rate percentage decrease like we've never seen in the history, and that puts victims' interests ahead of criminals. All of this talk about not having police, listen, I was a law enforcement guy. I've looked in the eyes of somebody who had someone in their family murdered. Tell you how emotional it is just for them and you trying to figure out who did all this nonsense. It matters. And we have walked away from victims because Democrats don't believe victims should count. Even in the hearing the other day, when the Democrats at the hearing about these murders across the state by country, by illegals who are basically saying we're too busy to hear this.
Crazy.
These are American citizens who are viciously murdered or raped or aggravated assault. This is real and has consequences. This is why I think people look at this and say, listen, I prefer my police because when you need them, you need them. And I also want them to take bad people and get rid of them from our neighborhoods so I can walk to church. I can walk to my grocery store. The more they talk about this, the more I think it drives people, common sense people, back into the arm of our campaign across the state of Michigan.
Sounds like the crazy versus common sense you said at the top. Mike Rogers, appreciate it. We'll watch that race closely, right in the center. I've got the primaries coming up at the beginning of August. Mike Rogers, thank you.